2022 Tesla Model X Plaid business platform review. Guys, if you follow us for a while, you know that we have a couple Plaids, we have a couple Model 3s, we have a couple other cars, but Model S Plaid right there. Just got this Model X Plaid in. Boom. And this is a business vehicle for us. We run these cars for real. So we're going to go do some dog pickups. The only thing done to this from the factory since we have it is it does have blacked out window tint on it. So it has about 10% carbon all the way around. It has 70% carbon in the front. And we have a couple little shading things in there. Again, the cooler you keep a Tesla, the less energy you use. So we're going to go from Bluemont, Northern Virginia, Loudoun County, to DC. From DC all the way to Winchester, from Winchester all the way back to Bluemont, one charge. Let's see how it does. So one thing that really makes a Model X very attractive to somebody running a lot of stuff on a business is the storage options and the actual range. Let's take a look. I'll do a detailed comparison later, comparing the Model X Plaid to the Model S Plaid, which has a flat tire right now. I'm just so enthusiastic about, that's okay. But I can tell you this, the frunk in the Model X, absolutely bigger than a Model S, no question about it. Getting into a Model X, 100 times easier than getting into a Model S. It's just easier for a tall guy like myself. I'm 6'4" and 230 pounds. We did put this little seat protector back here we got from Tesla. It looks like shit, to be honest with you. I don't even know if it's good quality, but we'll see. And then in the back here, this is where we get a lot of dogs. And we load them up. People are like, you put dogs in these cars? I'm like, yeah, we do it all the time. Even though we have very dark tint, we still have the Tesla Sunshade. So it's like this fabric. Probably can't see it in the camera, but we do have the extra sunshades in the back. And yeah, so that's a car. It's the white interior with carbon fiber. And we'll go over the interior here in just one second. All right, guys, absolute coolest feature of a 2022 and up is going to be for sure when you go to display and you can physically move the display. So that's a cool update. I wish my Model S Plaid I got last year would do that, but it does not. So you can obviously angle it more towards the passenger. I love the angled look more towards the driver. It really is a small detail that complements itself nicely. So 95% state of charge. We're gonna go ahead and reset. No, we're not. We're just gonna run it from the since the last charge. So we're not gonna charge again. So we're gonna be tracking this block. We just unplugged the car right here on this trip. Let's get the trip set up and go from there. First leg of this trip, guys, is about 70 miles exactly from Bluemont to the backside of DC. Going from where I live, basically the most western possible area of the DC metro area, way up on top of the mountains, to all the way into downtown northeast DC. 70 miles one way, let's roll. All right, guys, driving dynamics of the fastest SUV ever made in the world. This SUV will embarrass all but like one production Ferrari, like the SF90. This SUV will dust, I believe, every single production Lamborghini. There's not an SUV on the planet ever made that can touch this car as far as acceleration, as far as an SUV goes. And just like the Model S Plaid, this SUV will embarrass most super bikes. The Model S will embarrass all super bikes. There's a couple super bikes that are a little bit faster than this, but not by much. So, see that little computer right there? It's picking up the runners, picking up the trash cans, picking up everything, man. You can't beat that. What's it like to drive this? It's super easy. It's super simple. You can drive it like a Honda Civic, or you can drive it like a race car. Now, I live way back in the mountains, guys. You can see these roads. I'm on the stock 22-inch wheels, probably not the best, obviously. I'm on the stock rubber. It's not the best, obviously. But we drive these roads every single day in all the Teslas that we have. It's about 5 miles of dirt roads to get out and about 5 miles of dirt roads to get back in. So this ain't a garage queen. I do park it in a carport only because we get a lot of hail and wind and stuff like that. And I don't want to get the car messed up sitting in my driveway. But yeah, man. So we love them. As long as you can modulate the throttle very easily, it's super simple to drive these cars. The displays are phenomenal. It's simple. People say things like, it should be more illustrative. Man, you can follow this with your eyes and your brain so easy. Like all your information's right there, everything you need. Beautiful map. Everything in here looks good. I love it, man. Tesla's really upped their game. We've been with Tesla for a while, and they've really upped their game as far as starting to go more luxury. Is a top of the line Model S or Model X ever going to be as luxurious right now as like a high-end, you know, AMG M-Class car from BMW, AMG from Mercedes, or I You know, I don't think Porsches have a nice interior. I'll be quite honest with you. I think they're cheap. All the other one-off cars you can compare it to, like an Alfa Romeo, junk. Jaguar, please, junk. Land Rover, I mean, kind of nice on some of them, but some of them are junk. So I think Tesla gets a bad rap as far as people saying like the quality sucks and this sucks. The old ones do. I agree. You know, Tesla had to come a long way in quality of vehicles. However, the new ones, I mean, I have high-end cars, other cars, and to be honest with you, this ain't that bad at all. The carbon fiber in this, I think, is nicer than the carbon fiber in my G-Wagon. Just fact. I like the material, even though it's not leather, it's Tesla's like fake leather. But the awesome part about it is that with a sponge and soap, you can make it look brand new. So like all the seats, all the hard materials that are white, literally warm soap and a sponge, and the stuff cleans up and looks like a brand new material. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, we'll be off these dirt roads here in a couple miles and get off the washboards and get onto the hard ball and yeah, start this day, log some miles for sure. All right, guys, one thing about driving a Tesla, there's ways you can really optimize your efficiency tremendously, right? There's speeds you can do. You can cut the aircon units. You can cut the heaters. You can use no radio. I've seen people online doing things like putting portable speakers in their cars, I guess. For me, that's not my thing, man. So the only thing I do to worry about efficiency is I try to be common sense, right? So there's a setting in the speed called chill. Chill just limits the amount of upfront power, right? So for example, if I'm over here, you can go chill, sport, plaid, drag strip, and then track. I don't know if track mode's on this car, but track mode's on my Model S. Chill mode basically makes you feel like you're driving a Toyota Camry or something. I mean, it's slow, right? It accelerates incredibly smooth, no herky jerky, super chill. Like it says, chill. When you're in sport, it's fast. When you're in plaid, it's insanely fast, but it's all that power, right? So on days like today where I know I need to go about 250 miles before I charge, I kind of got to be smart. So I put it in chill and it gets up to speed fine. And then I just set cruise control, right? Nothing to it. And over here for the lights, I keep my lights with the parking lights on or the fog lights on. I like the way it looks, so that's how I keep them. When it comes to the aircon unit, I try to stay comfortable. It's 78 degrees outside and 0 sun. So it's a lot of overcast. So on level 2, that's all I need. But if it gets hot, I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna turn it up. I don't care. If it gets more hot, I'm gonna turn a cool air conditioned seat on. And then while I'm driving, guys, I'm always blasting the radio. Like I have to drive to radio, sounds, cool, air conditioned, the whole 9 yards. So am I efficient as far as just like ripping it like a race car everywhere? Yes. Am I efficient as far as not using air conditioning, not using a radio, not using anything? No. It's a car. Drive it. Have fun. Now, don't get it twisted. If you got to make a point, you make a point. Meaning, a little shitbox Mopar or some ratted out Mustang pulls up, or even better, a hypercar or a supercar or an exotic car pulls up, and you need to let them know America supports superiority and Tesla rules, then you just click that little button and then it's on. And everybody gives way to the Plaid, period. End of story. On the street, nothing on the street can touch these cars. On a prep track, custom cars, of course you can beat a Plaid. On the street, stoplight to stoplight, nothing available can do it. And when you're done, go back to chill, conserve power, and just like that, it's a daily cruiser, driving itself on autopilot, auto steer. Let's roll. What's it like to drive a Tesla in bumper to bumper traffic? Whoa, watch out now. Alert, alert, alert. It's great, man. This is where a Tesla really shines. So if you know the DC metro area, you know exactly where I'm at right now, guys. I am on the Beltway, technically north on the Beltway heading towards Baltimore, but it's going to loop us back and we're going to be in DC here in no time at all. So what's it like on a Tesla? It's easy. It's super, super easy. So I use autopilot. So we'll turn it back on right now. Watch the blue lights. So cruise control, auto cruise control, and the steering feature, but not full self-driving. So autopilot's on, but not full self-driving. And I got to figure out a different way home because that southbound side is bumper to bumper, and that's not good. But I still keep my hand on the wheel in heavy traffic, obviously, because I want to be able to steer. but there is a certain amount of just absolute ease of operation. The car is doing everything for me right now. On my hands here, but the car is 100% driving. I'm not doing anything. And in an area like this where it's easily distractible, you got a lot going on, you got cars everywhere, I'm still actively driving, but the car is helping tremendously, and it makes it so much easier. And then over here, I'm rocking out to my favorite podcast, or the more little Fox News Radio podcast. But the connectivity package on a Tesla is better than anything on an iPhone, better than any Android Auto. The interface on this car is the best in the business, hands down. You don't need anything else. You don't need Android Auto. You don't need Apple CarPlay. This system is better, and every podcast, every music, every song you've ever thought of, heard of, or want to find is on it. In short, is driving a Tesla easy in bumper traffic? We do it all day, every day, and it's as easy as it comes. And for my Northern Virginia DC Metro followers, we are pulling down into Langley Park. Gonna cut over on Hampshire Ave to cut back into DC. It's a little bit smarter sometimes to go wide and either into PG County or Montgomery County and then into DC, as going through Arlington or Alexandria City can be a tremendous amount of traffic, like mind-numbing, like you can't move amount of traffic trying to get in there around when you start getting closer to the Pentagon and parts of Arlington. You're trying to get across the bridge in DC, and like it's overwhelming. So oftentimes this is how I do it. Tends to work out a little bit better. We are smack dab in the middle of DC, and super nice area actually. I mean, you know, DC is interesting, man. I don't pretend to know DC like the back of my hand. I know it pretty well, but I know in DC, it's an interesting city because you can be on one road and things are really good. That neighborhood's good. And you can be like a block to the left or right, and potentially you can have a very serious, you know, life or death situation upon you very quickly. So I like DC. You know, it's got a little bit of a bad reputation for some, and some of those are very rightfully so. Carjackings right now are at like a 50-year high in DC. Murders are up at like a 20-year high. There's problems, but you know, coming here in the daylight like this, you're fine for the most part. And again, you can turn down one street in DC. Every house on that street is like $3-4 million. You make one left turn, and it's like you're in a war zone, or you definitely will have that feeling. So yeah, it's an interesting place. All right, guys, we are in DC, and we got the dog. A little nervous, a little frighty, but super sweet. And we are going to get out of here and get back across the river and get to the shop and start our normal day of working. So one thing about DC is just about every house, every apartment complex, every block has an alleyway to it. For not that's probably not true for every single one, but I feel like every one that I go to does. So it can be difficult on the alleys to figure out exactly what the house number is, because the house number's on the front, but you can't park in the front ever. And so I just took a wrong turn, and you don't really want to do that. Got to be a little cautious, but luckily it's a block environment, so we'll take a left, and we'll be right back on track. So again, I don't know this area, so I don't mind driving to DC, but I do not like driving where I do not know the area, where I'm not really sure like exactly how to get in, exactly how to get back out. Not so much I'm worried about crime. I just, you know, you want to take the most efficient route to get back out of the city, or it can become kind of a pain. But anyway, when I'm driving through DC, I don't care what part it is, it makes no difference. And DC is very unique. People assume it's like, stay out of Southeast, stay out of Anacostia. Listen, there's good and bad neighborhoods in every district in DC. They're just separated by a block. So when you're in and out of the city, protection is always within a couple inches. It's not in the glove box. It's not in the center console. It's not in the backpack. It's not in the back. It is on my waist, ready to go at all points and times. And we are always aware of what's going on, where we are, who's looking at the car, who's eyeballing the car, who's running up. Again, carjackings in DC are at like a 50-year high, I think. It's an insane number. It's like right now I'm gonna get stuck at this red light, right? So I'm gonna leave enough space behind this bus where I can go left or go right. Meaning if somebody runs up on the car, I'm just gonna gas it. And I'm gonna know right now I'm cutting off anybody else's ability to go right because I'm blocking these things. So if somebody runs up on the car, I'm shooting left, dipping right, if that makes any sense. But again, you always wanna have your head on a swivel. Always be aware of who's around your vehicle at all times. Make eye contact, watch, give yourself an out, have a firearm at all times to be protected. Again, prepared is not paranoid. And I'm not paranoid. I love DC, I love the city, but I'm not ignorant that a lot of people get killed in this city and that a lot of cars get stolen at gunpoint in this city. And that's just a fact. All right, guys, one thing now that we got a dog, why are you running across the middle, homie? So one thing about having a dog in the car right now is the air conditioner, right? So we bumped our front AC up to 3, and we also have the rear AC turned on in order to make sure the dog has enough airflow going to the back. And is this me?
Left onto North Capitol Street Northwest.
Oh, I gotta shoot across, I see. All right. Hey. So again, man, Tesla's a great inner city car. You can get in, you can get out, you can quickly see whatever you need to see, and you can quickly zip in and out of traffic. And it does make driving in DC easy, man. And for the record, guys, I've never had a problem in DC ever. I've never even remotely had a problem, and I do love DC, but I can't stress enough, man. I've had people hit me up and say, you talk shit about DC, it makes you sound like a racist. Like a racist? I'm merely stating the facts that DC is a very dangerous place right now. Like, it's violent. I mean, people are being murdered, cars are being jacked left and right. And when you're here, you would be ignorantly stupid to not just have your head on a swivel at all times. That's it. Coming back over the bridge from Washington, D.C. into the beautiful state of Virginia. And yeah, that's pretty much how easy it is. You can go from Maryland, bouncing D.C., and now we're bouncing from D.C. directly into Virginia. So you're basically coming, and I don't know if this is considered Pentagon or Crystal City right here. This is part of Arlington County. Oh, sign right there, hello. We're gonna say, yeah, it's that, Pentagon and Crystal City. So super cool. I know exactly where I'm in now. I feel confident on the roads. I know how to get in, I know how to get back out. Life is good, and we are hauling to Winchester. I don't miss this at all, man. I miss a lot about police work. I don't miss none of this mess whatsoever. All right, guys, 100-mile update to this day's commute. We've gone 101 miles. We've used 32 kilowatts, and we're averaging about 316. 32 kilowatts is about $1.90 in electricity. I pay 0.06 at my house due to our solar system setup. So for $1 and about 90 cents, we've gone 102 miles. Not too bad. All right, guys, the day's coming to an end. It's about 6:30 in the evening. I'm heading from work to the gym before we go home. Grab a little workout, get a little action rocking off, and let's check to see our numbers so far for the day. 158 miles, 52 kilowatts earned. So I'm right at about maybe, I don't know, $2.10, $2.15 worth of gas for the day. But the more important part is that when I was in DC, you really got to realize I left my house at 8:30 in the morning and I got to where I was going at 1:30 in the afternoon. So while the mileage wasn't that high, the amount of time that we were idling, sitting in traffic, road closures, road blocks, I mean, you're talking about almost 5 hours of driving, and I've literally only used about $2 worth of electricity to move the car. So pretty cool. Guys, we are on that rebound trip, 19:30. Getting back to the house. It's always a long day. That's okay. Blessed with work, man. Never forget the blessings of when you're busy. But my thoughts on this Tesla Model X Plaid. Let's talk about it. My thoughts are simple, man. This is probably one of the most undervalued, underused, amazing Tesla / EV / electric car products on the market. The Model X is just an amazing vehicle. It's huge on the inside. It's crazy efficient, man. We'll check the final things here in a minute, but I basically did 180 miles today of a highway, dirt road, a ton of inner city, a ton of sitting, a ton of idling. And all in, I'm guessing I used about $3.50 of gas, or cost equivalent to gas. So anyway, as always, man, you guys know I love Teslas. You guys know I love the Plaid platforms. It's insane that you can do this like a daily driver, but it's the fastest SUV ever built in the world, ever. All right, guys, final tally for the day. We are started at 95%, and we're ending at 24%. We traveled 183 miles, used 62 kilowatts, which for me at my house where I charge is about $3.75 worth of electricity. So all day driving, all around 183 miles, I used $3.72 worth of comparable fuel, and I still have 25% remaining. So not too bad, guys. It's tired. been a long day. Nothing better though coming back, knowing when we plug in here, the second I come out in the morning, we can do this all over again. Never hit the gas station, never have to go back. Nothing better, man. Richside K9 bringing you some new Tesla vehicle stuff. We're going to do all kinds of dog videos on the Model X Plaid and the Model S Plaid. Yeah.